Hello everyone, my name is Daften, and in today's video we are going to be doing some model work. We are going to actually build a mod. So this is a little bit longer video, maybe take an hour, maybe take 45 minutes, we will see. So this is also a practice session because we are going to use both Unity and 3ds Max. And all the skills that are being employed here are fairly easy to do right now, but vital to anyone who is really interested in doing some modeling work. In this session I will not be commentating full time. I will only stop and explain things. This is a better show than tell kind of work. But anytime I do something new I will tell you about it. Okay, so what are we going to do today is recreate Solid Snake's HK MK23 pistol. As you can see, we have some reference points. So what are we going to do now is find the pistol and attach a laser sight and a suppressor to its frame. Both are from the in-game files. Our basis will be the Geist P3 pistol, because this is the closest we have to the Mark 23. Okay, without let's further ado, I'm going to go to Unity, go to FMDA Studio, import FMDA. Okay, what are we going to looking for now is in unpacked files. It's working. Okay, in assets, TPP, we are going down because we are looking for first a handgun frame. So we are going to use weapon, and here you can see all these three letters. These are all standing for something. For example, AMO is always standing for ammunition or magazines. But for example, handguns are always HAG. So we're going to open handguns. We are going to scenes. And as you can see, there are quite a few FMVA files here, and we have no idea which one is Geist. Okay, let's see what is the first one. So HG00 main 0.def. Open it. Okay, as you can see, this is the arms material delta 1114, or 114, sorry. This is something that we are not going to need, but we should know that what's the name of the model. Okay, so delete it. Import another FMDA. This time, because I cheated a little bit, so I already know that Geist is HG10. So I'm coming down. HG10, main 0. We're going to open it. As you can see, here it is. This is the Geist. If I open it, open both the skeleton and the models, it has 4 meshes. And skeleton has two other bones. So we have a root, a slide, and a trigger. Alright. As you can see, the magazine is not part of the weapons model. This should not bother us. Alright, we're going to need every mesh and all the skeleton intact. So again, we are going to convert it to FDX. So go back to mod tutorial. Let's make a folder. I already made one called MK23, Mark 23. And as you can see, I already experimented a bit. So we are going to just overwrite it. So we can leave the name or we can rename it. We are going to leave the name for now. Alright, so we have the frame. We still have a suppressor and the laser sight to worry about. Okay, we can leave this here open. Import another FMDL. We are going to use some support. So we are navigating back here. Okay, so the suppressor and the laser sight are not located in weapons. They are located in pack, collectible, and chimera, or chimera. Chimera is the game's weaponsmith system. This is how the files refer to it. If you open chimera, you will see all these options like barrels, magazines, muzzle option, receiver, sight stock, underbarrel. So these are pretty self-explanatory. Only that options are the attachments like flashlights and laser sights. Okay, but if we are going to open this, there are still FPK files that we have to unpack. So ideally, if you open this, you will see nothing here. So we have to come here. Let's see. Pack, collectible, Chimera. Let's start with options. And as you can see, all these FPK files here. FL00, FL01, so flashlight, LS, it's laser sight. Okay, so to know what are we looking for, ideally you have to unpack as many as you can and try to load as many as you can. Okay, so let's say we are looking for the laser sight. Let's try laser sight 01. Here it is. Okay, it's actually the one we are looking for. But if it's not the one we are looking for, so we are going to import one. That's what we need on purpose. You just need to load them up and see if it's the one you need or not. Okay, so make sure that LS01 is the one we need. So we come back, LS0100, that's it. Okay, it has one mesh and one skeleton. These will be fairly easy to work with. Okay, convert it to FBX2. Alright, we can leave it here too. So the next thing we are going to need is a suppressor. Don't worry about the magazine, that will come later. Okay, the suppressor. I'm not going to go over it all again, because I already know what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for SU01. So if you have multiple FPK files unarchived and you don't want to click that many times, here's a trick you can do. So let's navigate to pack, collectible, Chimera, muzzle option. Yeah, and as you can see, I already opened almost all the suppressors looking for this. So I don't want to click 4 times. I just come here to the search bar, asterisk.fmdl. Here are all the FMDLs. Okay, which one we are looking for? We are looking for SU01. SU01, yeah. Main 0, yes. Okay, perfect. Same drill as before. Convert to FBX. Okay. So before we moving to 3ds Max, what we are going to do now is locate the textures. So come back to handgun 10, main 0. Look at the first material. First material is C_col_A. And as you can see, it has no base sRGB. That could cause us some problems later now, but not at the moment. Because another thing that we can do is we know the name HG10. So we come here, convert to textures, and start typing that if there is a corresponding one. So HG10_main0. And as you can see, it loaded up a lot of it. But since the Geist model is also used by other handguns, for example, you can see this red one here. This is an FOB item. We are not going to need it. So we should type in the full name, it's Daf. Okay, so what do we have here? Is 4 textures. How many is missing here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. So what are we going to do now is basically just come here. We already have the TPP custom texture file directory set up. So for me it's TPP Daften Mark 23. And as you can see, I already brought some of these textures. So we are not going to have to track them all down here in the video. This is just going to show you an example. So you take these 4 files and simply drag and drop. And it multiplied them for me because Unity is not defaulting to overwriting them. As you can see, here is the one that was here before the video. Here is the one that got imported. So I'm gonna delete every second one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you should do this for every material. So iron F1. Here you have all the textures intact. What you're going to do now is click on the file. Here it gives you the texture's name, and even if it's hashed, don't worry, we can track it down. So just start typing here that 1DF86. Here it is, 1DF86. As you can see, it's matching. So just go through all the materials and do it for all of them, and make sure that you paste all textures here in the custom texture directory. One thing we can also do right now, after we have imported all the textures here for our custom texture directory, is to go back to the first mesh, and we can already set up the textures. So before we are moving to 3ds Max, we can already do this. So base text RGB for C_call_A. Base text RGB. So let's change the stylings for all of them, because from the previous video we know that this is how they will display correctly. So it's handgun 10. So handgun 10 main comes here. As you can see, it applies. Okay, normal map, handgun 10 normal map comes here. Okay, specular map, handgun 10 specular map comes here. Mat parameter MP. So this can be a little tricky, don't worry. What we are going to do now is to show an explorer, open MK23, show the DBS files. As you can see, BSM, CLV, LBM, MTM. So these are all, again, shorted for what's are here. So MT, this is going to be, if I recall it correctly, so let's come here with extra big icons. MTM, this should be, which is, which one? Oh, that's LS, that's laser sight, it's not going to use. Main, there it is, MTM. Okay, layer text sRGB, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think I'm doing it correctly. Just give me a moment. Okay, handgun 10, let's see what it is. It's common flat white, no. Again, we are being authentic, so Daften is kinda confused for a second. Okay, we will come back to this. I'm not going to take away any from this video, we will come back to this. Okay, so we will set this up later. Okay, coming to 3ds Max, we are going to set the scene. We open the scene explorer, come here, and import the pistol frame. So it's in Mark 23, handgun 10 main, that's it. Okay, this will be our base. Basically, we are not going to touch this one, because we are going to align everything according to this model. Okay, our next step now is to file, import. We are going to attach the laser sight first. And again, file content, add. Click OK. So here is the laser sight. And as you can see, it's not really aligned well. So what are we going to do now is to here, the FBX, and here is the skeleton, and here is the mesh. As we can see, this mesh is attached to skeleton 00 root. What we are going to do now is come here, click to the utilities, click on more, select skin utilities, and while the mesh is selected, extract skin data to mesh. This basically creates a dummy file that stores all the bone weights and all the bones for our mesh. We are going to hide it for now. We are going to come back here again, keep the mesh selected, right click, and now add selected to new parent. We are adding it to the new parent. The new parent is the frame of the handgun. So here it is. As you can see, it's still selected, but they have the same names. So what we are going to do now is to right click on it, rename, and let's keep the order. So it's gonna be for mesh root. It will update, so don't worry, it will go back here. But we can do this by just clicking on name. And yeah, as you can see, sorted ascending. Alright, so what we are going to do now is to again select laser sight 0 main depth, so the FBX, right click on it, select child nodes, select again and delete. Okay, so now if we come back to the laser sight, no bone is attached to it yet. What are we going to do now is come to editable mesh. We're going to select yes, continue. Use any of these as you wish. I will use faces. Select all of it. Then move to select and move to, and align it to match the pistol. So we are only going to need to work on the Y plane and the Z plane. So this is going to be easier than editing a full 3D model. Or this is a 3D model, but on this axis, it's already set up for us, so it's easier. Okay, so we are pulling it closer here, adjusting it. Yes, adjusting it by the Z-axis. And basically we are going to do this until we are satisfied with the position. So again, select moving. This is not going to align 100%. This is not the aim of it. So we are just going to create the illusion of laser sight being there. But I think it's pretty okay. It's no clipping. Alright, cool. So what are we going to do now is to come back here again to the laser sight mesh, select add bone, and here on the bone list we only have handgun 10. So handgun 10, select skeleton root, select skeleton 00 root. Selected. Okay, and now for the weights, we make this visible. So the skin data, we make it visible. Hold down Control, click on both, so both are selected. Come back to utilities and import skin data from mesh. And here what we are going to have to do is to match the skeleton's name. So we can just click match by name here. This is a really good practice because we don't have a list of bones to work with, only 1 or 2 bones. But this is the same procedure anytime you are trying to attach a mesh from one FBX to another. Okay, now it's basically weighted. So if we click on edit envelopes, yes, you can see it's weighted. What we can do now is to go back to skin data here, select and delete. And basically we attach the laser sight to the handgun model. That's okay, that's good. Alright, so the next one is going to be file, import. We are going to attach the suppressor. Open the suppressor, steal file content add. Click OK. Just let me zoom on in a little. Alright, so basically same procedure. Utilities, it's already selected, so extract skin data to mesh. Keep it hidden. Right click, add, select it to new parent, pick the new parent, select the previous one's FBX, select child nodes, delete. Come back here to the suppressor, rename it so it's the 5th one here, or actually the 6th one, but 5th by counting. Okay, come back here to skin modifier, add bone, and add the root. Once this is done, select both, utilities, import skin data from mesh, match by name. Okay, then delete. And as you can see, I made a mistake on purpose, so I forgot to weigh this in. So what we can do now is to either delete it and start over again, or another thing we can do is to click on a mesh again, extract skin data again, come back here, detach the bone, so remove it from the mesh, come here to editable mesh, again select it, and no, just do as we did before. So we are going to move it and position as we would like it. Alright, so the barrel is not threaded, so it may look a little funky, may not. Okay, we are going to zoom on in as much as possible. But it looks okay, it looks believable, passable. Okay, so we come back here, come back to mesh 5, going to reattach to the bone, select skin data, import skin data from mesh, match by name. Okay, cool. So basically, it's complete. The model editing is done, and just to talk about what we have learned today, we learned how to extract skin data to mesh and how to import it, and how to pull one mesh from an FBX and attach it to another. Of course, the more complex edits you do, the more bones you have to work with, the more weights you have to deal with. And there is also another method which encapsulates that you are extracting the weights to an external file. That is the one that I actually use for larger edits, for like when I'm editing models that are moving, for example the player or body models or something. But for today this will suffice. So we come back here to File, Export, and export it back to a place where we can import it to Unity. So we come here to Mark 23 again. We are going to save it on Mark 23. Okay, just save it as before. And ideally we don't have to use 3ds Max anymore. So we can close it. And we are going to gain some performance by it not running in the background. Okay, so we come back here. We still have all these open. What we are going to do now is to come back here. So your project folder, assets, right click, import new asset. Going to find the Mark 23 model here. Now it's FMDL. Here it is, as you can see the date. So again, pro tip, always sort by date. Okay, we just import it here. Cool. And now to see our model, what we are going to do now is select these three and move them away a bit. So we can see more of them. It's easier on our eyes, it's easier for everyone. We're going to move these separately. Okay, so for now, as in the previous videos, we are going to first give the materials. So 0 mesh root comes to 0 mesh root, 7 3b whatever comes to 7 3b 27 whatever, mesh grip to mesh grip, of course, 3b32 comes to 3b32. And so now, anybody remember which is the laser sight and which is the suppressor? If you are not, then no worries. Just click on it, it will highlight it. So 4 is the laser sight, so we come here to laser sight, mesh root, 4, polymer A. Okay, so suppressor, of course, is suppressor 5. Alright, so also make sure that the MK23, this one you are not rotating and not moving in any way. Okay, I believe we can close these for now. If not, then we will know. So this is really live editing. It's you could say it's unscripted, aside from these. Okay, so it looks good, but it will not behave too well if we are just going to import it right now, because the textures will be messed up. So we come back here to C call A, and these are bothering me. So for this, I'm going to cheat a little bit, but this is just only so the video is not stuck. So here I already completed this model once, but I don't remember what was the name of the material. So it was still C call A, and what I did put here. So it's handgun 10 main def C00. Again, we are doing this to just cheat a little bit, so it's C00. Okay. What was the layer offset? CLV00. Okay, so maybe I did it good, but I didn't import everything. So we are going to come back to here, import new asset, converted textures, wait a little bit, because there are really a lot of files here. Okay, and let's start typing in handgun 10 main 0. Here it is. Okay, so I already know what I did wrong. As you can see, I started typing in handgun 0 main 0 underscore def first. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 textures. And here are these 4 textures. Okay, but the model also uses 2 other textures that are not named def, but CLV and CLV C00. As you can see. So even I'm not omniscient. Okay, import them. Imported them here. Okay, cool. So we come back here. Text layer sRGB. Handgun 1, handgun 0. Okay, again. No, I think I just double messed up because I actually had them here. I was just not paying attention. That can happen a lot when you model it, because you tend to go to autopilot and just do the mundane work. Then you realize that something is not good, something is acting up. But by the time you realize what's acting up, you already imported a faulty model to the game, so it can happen a lot. Okay, we are going to just set up the custom textures and materials here. So mesh grip again. As you can see, since zero mesh and the mesh grip use the same material, we only had to set the textures once. Again, it uses the same material. Again, for polymer A, these are all the LS. So laser sight 1, laser sight, yeah. Just change the tiles. Again, laser sight normal map. Okay, so always make sure that you are putting on the correct texture for the suppressor too. So even if, as you can see, the suppressor and the laser sight came with the materials intact. Now something I realized is that even if it's intact, when you port it back to the game, it will not find the textures correctly. So we need to set custom textures for that too. So basically to everything, even to files that should know where the textures are. Okay, these I need to track down. So again, click on the tile. Here we can see where it is. But we are going to be a little lazier than that and come here to mod tutorial, converted textures, and start typing in the file name. So it's suppressor01 underscore main 0. As you can see, here are these these 3 textures that we need. That's the UI icon. So just drag them here. Okay, 5. Change the tilings. As you can see, if I change the tiling, it will screw up the editor view, but we must do it, because once we apply the texture, it will be good. And as you can see, in the meantime, that this abomination here, the normal map is responsible for it. So normal map, you can read upon it on the internet what is the normal map. Uh-oh, look at this. I'm not going to change it now. Hopefully you will align your suppressor a little bit better than I did. This should not create any problems aside from being amusing. Okay, so you can read up on what normal map means. But basically the two most important are the BSM, so the coloring, and the normal map. Okay, come here. It's done. Normal map is done. Okay. It looks good. Basically, we can say it's finished. So what we're going to do now is come to FMVS Studio, fix the tangents. Again, this is something that I should have done when I imported the FVX. But then again, I left it for now, because now you can see that the texture is getting fixed by it. Okay, generate bounding boxes. Everything seems to be in order, everything seems to be fine. FMVS Studio, export FMVL. So again, we're going to export it to a place where we can find it, MK23. Okay, and I'm going to name it MK23 version 3, because I already made two preparing for this tutorial. Oh, does not contain a Fox model component? No worries. Here at component, FMVS Studio, Fox model component. Since these are static models and don't have anything special like parasite effect or something, you can just leave these here. So no need to change anything. Automatic Fox model component is fairly good for now. So unless we are going to work with hair, eyelash, or quiet, this is going to be good. Okay, so finally export FMVL. Alright, check the console. Everything is okay, everything is alright. Now we are ready to pack it. So we are going to save the scene, exit Unity, close as many things as possible. Okay, let's check the time, half an hour. We actually have a really good runtime, even though I messed up like 5 times now. Okay, so what we are going to do now is use Phi Profiliator. So Phi monolith, Phi management tools, Phi Profiliator. And as we remember, handgun 00 is the D114. The D114 is appearing in cutscenes, but as you can see, it's not def, but AV0, because I already went up and located the cutscene model, so we don't have to do it here. So all I have to do now is to find where HG0, so where this file is, for the Phi Profiliator. And actually I believe I already know it, but if I don't know it, I just come here to unpacked files and search for it. So let's type in 00 main 0 AW0. A lot of the times I say V instead of W, because in my native language there is no sound difference when you utter V or W. Okay, so here it is, FMVL. Let's jump to file to make sure that this is what we are going to need. Yeah, it's asset TPP weapon ASV seeds. Alright, good. Where do we want the output folder? Yes, so in MK23 I already have an install folder. In this install folder we want Phi Profiliator to copy all instances of HG00. Build directory structure. So this should not take more than like 15 seconds. Cool. Okay, but if you remember, at the beginning I told you that we are going to talk about the magazine a little bit later. So in cutscenes, the magazine is a separate part of the gun's body. What we are going to do now is find the magazines. So the D114's magazine is called this. So really same practice as before. Let it search. Okay. So we are going to looking for the FMVL file. Here it is. But since we already know this is FMVL, we're going to put .fmvl there. There it is. Jump to file to make sure. So asset TPP weapon handgun scenes. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, we are going to build directory structure to the install folder too. Done. Okay, we can close file propagator for now. Let's jump to MK23 install folder first. Asset TPP. And we know that we are only going to replace cutscene models. So cutscene models are always in pack mission 2. Therefore, what is in body directory? So Volker gives D111s, D114s, and what is inside Chimera we are not going to replace. So these two folders you can just cut. Also the weapon folder too you can just cut, because otherwise it will cause problems. And for now, we already closed Unity. So what are we going to do now is come here, documents maybe. Where is the Unity files? Maybe I actually have to relaunch Unity, and this will really be an hour-long video. But to make sure, I will relaunch Unity. Okay, so new Unity project. Okay, so project tab. And here are the custom textures. So right click, show in Explorer, and it's asset TPP Daften. So what we are going to do now is come to TPP, copy the Daften folder. So where are the files basically? Come here, MK23, install folder, asset folder, TPP. And as you can see, Daften is already here, so Daften needs to go now. Okay, paste. Yeah, I screwed up a bit, but we will see. So in Unity it's TPP Daften Mark 23, TPP Daften Mark 23. Okay, so AKSU, QAP, and all these other stuff that I'm working on, we are going to not need. Here are the DDS files, the meta files you can get rid of. Let's see if these are the correct DDS files. These are indeed the correct DDS files. We don't need these two, hopefully. But if you don't know what files to delete, just come back here to Unity, and let's see. Here is BSM1, here is BSM, LBM1, LBM. So we are going to delete the duplicates. If you delete the duplicates and nothing changes on the model, then those were not used. So it was safe to delete them here too. Okay, we're going to need to convert these to ftex files, and so I'm going to be foolproof and do it manually, one by one. As you can see, DDS files are already set up to be opened by the ftex tool. So this is also a really quick way to do it. Okay, we can leave the DDS files here, Makebyte will not pack them. So if everything is okay, we have the texture set, and we have old instances of handgun 00 located. Okay, what we are going to do now is to come back to MK23 folder, sort by date. So here is MK23 version 3, copy it, come here to mission 2, and asterisk.fmdl. So we have handgun ammo and handgun main. Alright, we are not going to replace the magazines with the weapon, we are going to replace the weapons, but we already know the name, so we just handgun 00 underscore main 0 underscore AB00. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 instances. Cool. So come here, left click, right click, open to file, paste MK23, take its name, copy, delete it, go to MK23, rename it, bang, now we have it. Now we are going to copy this one, come back here to the search bar, and you can see which ones you already modified. So modification date and also the size changes, so you can keep track of where are you when doing this. Replace, come here again, replace. I really just going to do this 9 times. replace, again, open, replace. Same drill as before. And here is the last one. Alright, cool, that should be everything. And now we will see. So my track record here in this video series is that I already screwed up one mod. And for this first install you can remember Ishmael's pajamas not changing. We will see if I can correct this track record or continue the failures. Okay, so come here, open Makebyte. So mod tutorial MK23 install directory. Okay, so /asset/tpp. Okay, here are the fpex files. Good. Here are the fpk files that what Makebyte will repack for us. Here you can see all the scenes, and you can see I already made a mistake because I did not replace the magazines. So we are coming back here, data, mod tutorial, unpacked files, asset, tpp. What was the name of it? So handgun 10 ammo 0, handgun 10 ammo 0 underscore def, and we're going to look for the fmdl file. So .fmdl, here it is. Okay, handgun 0 ammo 0, handgun 10 ammo 0 underscore def, copy. Basically it doesn't matter which one you copy, as you can see, same size. So we copy it, come back here, mod tutorial MK23, install directory, asset, tpp, pack, mission 0, typing handgun 00 ammo, 4 instances, open, same drill as before. So take the name of the original one, delete the original one, rename the custom one, or in this case another file. Okay, and do it again. Okay, now everything should be in order. If not, then the shame is really on me. So yeah. Okay, name MK23, version 1.0, author is me in this case. This is a test mod. Do it here on the desktop. MK23. Cool. Let's launch Snakebite. Mods. Delete these two. Now that I think of it, it would have been cool to have MGS1 Solid Snake there, but he's not really necessary for this mod. Or maybe what I just said is heresy. You will decide. I just tend to always uninstall everything, aside from Infinite Heaven when doing test runs. So this is also really good practice. Infinite Heaven, try to keep it, because you can set up cutscenes with it. So you don't have to play the game actually, you only have to launch the Infinite Heaven menu and then select the cutscene you want to play. And hopefully everything will be working. So we will going to test it on the birthday scene, because there I'm sure Snake will draw his weapon. And of course you don't have to watch me play through a mission while we trigger a cutscene where the pistol appears. Okay, launch the game. Let Steam kick off. So this video is not really part of the tutorial series, it's more like a how to make a mod one, where we are almost going from scratch. So I expect you to watch the previous videos, or at least be familiar with what we are doing here. This will not be on this list. What should be the title of this video? The making of the MK23 or something. I will decide, and sorry for rambling. But there is not much else I can do while we are sitting at the loading screen. So again, what we learned about today is how to save weights from a mesh, how to reposition a mesh, and how to connect, or how to add bones, and how to pull a mesh from a model to another one. Okay, what if we just continue? Okay, let's start Infinite Heaven cutscene menu. Yeah, play selected, happy birthday. Cool. Let's return to mother base. And now we either have the texture set up correctly or not. We will see it in a few minutes. Sorry, seconds. Oh, I already saw some of the handgun. Yeah, it will be floating there. It actually looks quite okay on Snake, because there is no holster to clip through. And it seems like it's set up correctly. Okay, we let the same play until he really draws the weapon. I just walk slowly. We have all the time in the world. There it is. It looks okay. So I'm going to use Infinite Heaven to stop the frame. Or stop the scene, sorry. Okay, so here it is. One thing you can notice that there is no magazine in the gun. So this is again gonna depend on what kind of cutscene are we watching. So here there is no magazine in the gun. That's understandable. We can create a version which has a magazine. But in any scene where there is a magazine change, for example in Cloaked in Silence, when Snake unloads his gun, there always should be a model there which has no magazine. So the game is really resourceful. Unless there is an animation or scene where somebody unloads a gun, there is no actual magazine there. So it only has to load one model, not two. Yeah, I'm going to skip the scene. And basically that's it. If you follow this tutorial, you technically also made this mod. And you can use it to practice. What else? Yeah, it basically encapsulates everything that connected to model editing. So I really recommend everyone to first try working on static models which have only a few bones. Yeah. Okay, so that will be it for today. Thank you for your attention, thank you for bearing with me, and I will see you next time. Happy modding!